batteries. सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। In our series to unfold the mystery of Upanishads, I should say the mysticism of the Upanishads, we have seen Isha, Kena, Katha. Now we will be seeing the Mundaka. There is often a seeming confusion between Mundaka and Mandukya. Mandukya is more of a smaller Upanishad. In fact, somebody came and said, Swamiji, this Mandukya Upanishad that you are taking, it will be done in 3 days, right? Because it has only 12 mantras. But Mundakopanishad, which is from the Atharva Veda Shakha, has 3 chapters and each chapter has 2 parts to it, 2 khanda. So total of 6 parts. If somebody asks how many Upanishads are there, in all technicalities there is only one Upanishad. What do I mean by that? Upanishad meaning that which is the embodiment of all knowledges leading to one point. And the revelation can be only one revelation. But after you have reveled, when you start stating that experience in your own language, the way of putting it across in different words could be different. Like I was in Minneapolis, and there were many people who had come for the yajna, and a couple of them, they said, we have heard the same topic from 4 different acharyas of ChinmayaMission, and all 4 of them are so different. They're talking about the same thing, but the presentation or the style of presentation, the words, vocabulary, the examples, it differs. How can it be different? A group of us, we go see, say, Niagara Falls, and then we come back and write a blog or write a article. And when you compare these 10-15 articles together, they are all talking about the same thing, but the way they are talking about it differs. The emphasis of each person's experience differs with the view or the perspective that they have seen it. Similarly, the rishis who have reveled in this satya, in this absolute truth, again, truth is only absolute. If it were not absolute, then it is not truth. The limitations of the words. So that highest truth or highest state of truth, that experience, not just that they had their way of expressing it, the way of expressing also differs with the different sishya. The moment the group of disciples who were there with the masters change, probably the tone, the tenor and the entire expression would change. Though they are talking about the same truth. So it depends on various variables, and hence therefore in our Vedas we see or we come across in different samhitas, the last portion of the samhita is the Upanishad, and these Upanishads, though talking about the same truth, they give different expression, a different way of understanding the same truth. Of these Upanishads, there are authentic, there are 108 of them. Of these 108, 10 are supposed to be, or they are titled as major Upanishad, Mukhya Upanishads. Why are they called Mukhya Upanishad? Does it mean that they have a better revelation of truth than the other Upanishads? No. It is from the standpoint that whenever in our Sanatana Dharma or Hinduism, there is a school of thought that has to be presented, whether it is Dvaita, Vishishtadvaita, Advaita, or Nimbarka, or Gaudiya Sampradaya, whichever Sampradaya tradition has been started, in order to prove their logic of tradition, they have to comment flawlessly on 3 aspects of our scriptures. It is called Prasthana Traya. 1, they have to comment on Brahma Sutras. There are 555 sutras written by our own Veda Vyasa. Then there is our Bhagavad Gita. 700 shlokas of Bhagavad Gita have to be commented on. Then there are 10 Upanishads, and because these 10 Upanishads sets the standard for their tradition, hence therefore they are called Mukhya Upanishad, not because of its content. And the rishis were called Mitabhashi. Mitabhashi, the men of few words, but when they spoke with such pragmatic applications of this knowledge, and they were mostly in the Sutra Praya. Sutra Praya, in a very nutshell, the way they would put it across. So the smaller the Upanishad, intense is the knowledge that we have to decipher from that particular Upanishad. The smallest is the Mandukya Upanishad, and in most of the traditions it is often taught as the last Upanishad to be dealt with because of its seriousness and depth with which it talks very point blank. There is no coating, there is no sugar coating of, there are no examples given. It's a straight point, so it takes that much more effort to understand it. So in that whole premise of these Upanishads, Mundakopanishad is one beautiful, elegant Upanishad in the style or in its presentation. This particular Upanishad comes in Atharva Veda, in the Atharva Shakha. There are 4 Vedas, needless to say, because we have been introducing in the beginning of every Upanishad. Those 4 Vedas are Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda and Atharva Veda or Atharvana Veda. Atharvana Veda has some of the gems like Ganapati Atharva Shirshopanishad and Mundakopanishad. So this Mundakopanishad the reason that the name Mundaka, the Shakha is called Mundaka Shakha, from which this Upanishad emerges. In the Upanishad itself, there is one particular mantra wherein the Sishya who approaches the master, how should the Sishya approach? So they say he has to be clean shaven with a choti, tuft. So somebody asked me when I was in the ashram, while as a student, we need to shave our head monthly once and maintain that tuft. So somebody asked me, why this choti? Why the tuft? So I told him that we have in a day 10 hours of Vedantic lectures. So it is quite possible that the mind goes into a sleep mode. So our Guruji has all authority to tie the tuft to something on the ceiling with that rope, like the puppet. And if he sees some head going down, he can pull it up. It is certain discipline that we have got a lot of attachment to our hair. We tend to color it, maintain it. There is a lot of attachment as to how we look through our hair, how we present ourselves. As a brahmachari, that is not something that that our time should be wasted on. So in Hindi they say, na rahegi baas, na bajegi basuri. Remove the cause for all this trouble, so the head is shaven. So the Sishya comes with the head shaven, with dried twigs in his hand, package of dried twigs, and on the head there is a pot full of burning charcoal. It is all very symbolic. Now how can you carry it? Is it that no, there is a insulating material and then there is a pot kept? It's the indication that the Sishya is coming with burning intensity to learn the knowledge, and he has presented, he or she has presented themselves as a dried twig. Dried twig, when you put them into the fire, it catches fire easily. Meaning I have come prepared to offer myself to be disciplined thoroughly. I have come with absolute vairagya. And because the Sishyas come with this shaven head, some commentators have also commented that this Mundakopanishad is to be taught only through the shaven head. So you know the instructions for tomorrow, right? No, it is only for the Sishyas. Not for the Guru, only for the Sishyas. But the point is that the Sishya comes with absolute Vairagya to the Guru. And hence therefore it is called Mundaka Shakha or Mundakopanishad. Like any other Upanishad, any other Shakha, any other Upanishad taken from the Atharva Shakha starts with the same Shanti mantra. So this Upanishad also starts with Bhadram Karnebhihi. So if you can pull out that page, if you have a book, please follow along with me, after me. Om Bhadram Karnebhih Shrunuyama Devaha. Om Bhadram Karnebhih Shrunuyama Devaha. Bhadram Pashye Makshabhiryajatraha. Sthirairangai stuštuvagam sastanubhihi. Vyashema devahitam yadayuhu. Swasti na indro vruddhashravaha. Swasti nah pusha vishvavedaha. Swasti nastarksho arishtanemihi. Swasti no brahaspatir dadhatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Bhadram Karnebhih Shrunuyama Devaha. Now the magnanimity of these rishis was that every prayer of theirs was always universal. There was never a prayer that let me and my Sishyas or let me alone be happy or let me alone be content. Who cares about the rest of the world? Now the magnanimity was that let everybody, sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Swasti prajabhya paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahishaha. Swasti prajabhya paripalayantam. May the one who is governed and the one who is governing, may both of them, meaning the entire world of kings and their people in their kingdoms, may they be swasti, may they be in always auspicious condition. Similarly here, Bhadram Karnebhihi Shrunuyama Devaha. The entire process of Guru-Sishya interaction starts with Shravana. Shravana, the hearing. Bhagavan is also very strategic in his creation. He created the eyes with the lids. He did not create the ears with flaps. If that were the case, we would have been in a constant closure. Who has the patience to keep listening to all these kinds of stuff? Close it. So Bhagavan kept it open. so that at least by mistake let good things get inside. Bhadram karnevihi shrunuyama devaha. There is also one Vedic statement. Ano bhadrah kratavo yantu vishwataha. May all good things come unto me for my evolution. Bhadram karnebhi shrunuyama devaha. Bhadram pashyema akshabhihi yatraha. May I perceive all goodness. May I be blessed enough to see good, auspicious around me. Or it can also mean, may you bless me in such a way that only auspiciousness comes into my life to be perceived. Now these two sentences can be interpreted in 2-3 different ways. And we can see it in all 3 stages. Initially, when we are into this field of being a seeker, being a disciple, there is a lot of baggage that we carry, there is a lot of vulnerability that we are prone to. And the moment we step into the field of spirituality, there is a lot of comparative analysis happening. Internally, externally, there is a lot of comparative analysis happening. The first thing that we want to see, the spiritual environment that I am getting into. And if not that they are all realized, they should at least be all noble people around me. Many people who come and say, Swamiji, I thought ChinmayaMission, it will be with such great people, noble souls that will come, but what is this all kinds of politics? I said, give me 2 people, I'll show you 3 parties. My party, your party, our party, just in case. Don't we see it? And those who have come here have not come here because they are angels. We have come here so that we can grow, evolve to reach to that state. So is everybody else. Here I am talking the speaker as well as the listener. Everybody is for the same purpose. So when we come initially, may I hear only good things, may I see only good things, may I do only good things. Because for many of us, the amount of definition even for spiritual life is doing good, being good. It's not a big difficult task, My spiritual philosophy is very simple. Do good, be good. The difficulty comes when we ask, define good. Because any definition is not good enough. Because nothing is absolutely good or nothing is absolutely bad. May I hear only good. See, in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna says, Pranavaha sarva vedeshu. I am the syllable Pranava, the Omkara. In the same sentence almost, he says, Shabdah ke paurusham rushu. I also express as the very sound in this space. Meaning, there is absolutely no sound which can be classified as a bad sound. But in order to grasp that, we have to evolve. See, most of these sounds, we have given it a certain value, certain meaning to it. And when you can speak couple of languages, interchangeable meanings, it's very confusing. This Tamilian was there in Bombay, And every day morning he would wake up and he would say, Murga, Murga, and he would wake up. His neighbor was an Ismail Bhai. After 10-15 days of hearing every day, Murga, 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 he one day came in and said, hello, bhai, Murge. He gave him a couple of hen. Murga is also another name for Kartikeya. Like yesterday or day before yesterday in one of the sessions, they were singing another song in Tamil. It was Vail, 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 Vail. And there was a Telugu person sitting next to me. And he didn't realize that I was sitting next. And he just was saying to his neighbor, the other side, Enni velu unnayo emo. Velu in Telugu means finger. Vail in Tamil means, again, Vetrivel is another name for Kartikeya. See, in one particular language, the meaning given for certain sound is one thing. In another language, it is totally different. So, in Malayalam, for the cooked rice, they call it chor. In Hindi, it means thief. Now the word and the value ascertained to that word, it keeps changing. In some languages there are certain words which are supposed to be, very benign, very noble, very great virtue or quality or of a great respect. The same word in different languages is used as a cuss word. A totally contradicting meaning. See, we have Shanti and Ashanti. The first time I had come here 10 years ago, the singer's name was Ashanti. I was like, "Kaun rakhega aisa naam?" Why would anybody keep a name Ashanti? But later I understood when I searched or researched into that word and its meaning, that in some African language, it is the meaning is emperor, or the king of the kings. Ashanti means. Each word has two different meanings. So we have our ears open. At initial phases, demanding or trying to, quarantine ourselves, saying that I will not hear bad, I will not. The life around us and the experiences around us are not going to give us that luxury of choice, that only good will be filtered unto us. Everything will be coming unto us. As a seeker, it becomes my necessity to filter things out and take good out of it. First phase is to quarantine. Second phase is to filter and get good. What I see, what I hear, what I do. And the third phase is, that is where the maturity, when you reach to a level to understand, nothing is worth branding as good or bad. It is coming unto me as an experience so that I learn from it and move forward. May I learn that skill to see through every single experience, every single word that I hear, every single experience perceived by me. May I learn the greatest benefit from it, mature to the next level than what I am existing in today as. Now the fourth meaning. What is the fourth meaning? How many eyes do we have? How many ears do we have? 2. Right? It is not dvivachana, it is bahuvachana. What do they mean by bahuvachana here? Bahuvachana means third eye, third ear. Two don't function properly. Where do we search for the third one? We didn't even know we had a third eye and a third ear. It is called the intuitive conscious perception. May I perceive my entire life of experience through the eye of knowledge. That there is nothing that can be avoided, nothing that should be avoided. Everything that has to be accepted, learnt and grow to the next stage. And it can happen only through the eye of intuition. Bhadram karne vishrunuyama devaha bhadram pashye makshabhir yajatraha. And in order to function flawlessly in this world, what do we require? Sthiraihi angaihi. May my limbs be firm. Somewhere, when I compare the Indian mindset and the Western mindset, I'm talking only at the physical level, okay? If need be, take it with a pinch of salt. Don't get too touchy with the example here. बाद में emails आएंगे, इसीलिए बोल रहा हूँ मैं. By the time we reach to the age of Indians as a mindset, we reach to the age of 45, 50, we already brand ourselves. बुड्ढे हो गए हम. Done. Our life is almost coming to an end. We are done. Whereas you look at the Americans, Westerners here, even at 70, 80, the kind of vigor and stamina that they maintain, I'm just talking at the physical level. Don't drag it to any other levels. The vigor that they maintain at their physical level, the stamina that they, and the exercise or the shape that they maintain themselves in, it's amazing to watch. What, see, it finally is, where do you or how do you end up using it? The entire life, may my limbs be firm and functional. Sthiraihi angaihi tushtuvam sastanubhihi. May they may I live with a body which is in a very optimal condition. Or else by, we neglect, we don't maintain our body, we don't give it its due maintenance. At the most, the maintenance that we do is the appearance. Head to toe, the appearance is what we focus on. And there is enough market to sell us out on the appearance. I am talking about the maintenance. Every aspect of our limb, every part of our body should be maintained in a healthy condition, in a firm condition. Why? Deho devalayah proktaha jivo devas sanatanaha. That conscious principle enlivening this body is nothing other than Paramatma. And Paramatma, wherever he resides, his residence is called Devalaya. So how should the Devalaya be maintained? All hair falling everywhere, it not cleaned for a couple of days. You don't do the worship or give snana, upachara for Bhagwan daily. It doesn't sound right. So if this is the abode of that Lord, how should this body be maintained? In its perfect condition. And this Sharira is also called the only means or the only instrument that is given to us to acquire dharma or swadharma, the highest state of dharma. So let my limbs be in a shapely manner. And he says, Devahitam yadayuhu. O Lord, shorten my life. O Lord, extend my life. No, both are wrong prayers. Whenever they talk about Chirayu, there is another adjective added to it. What is the adjective? Papi Chirayu. Who wants to live a long life with everything falling apart? So may I live a short life but a sweet life. May I leave this body. These are all wrong prayers. What should be the prayer? Whatever this body according to its prarabdha is due, let this body go through it. God, provide me the strength and stamina to go through it. Vyashema devahitam yadayuhu. Whatever the ayu has been given, may I use every moment of it, every part of it most effectively. Vyashema devahitam yadayuhu. Swastina Indro Vruddhashravaha. May the Indra, the eldest of all the Devas. Why is he called the eldest? Because he is their king. May Indra guide me towards auspiciousness. Swastinah Pusha Vishwavedaha. Pushan is Lord Sun. May that Sun, S-U-N, provide all auspiciousness, health and wealth. Swastinastarksho arishtanemihi. May we be blessed in such a way that all our harms and all that could be dampening our day-to-day living, may I be provided with strength and wisdom to handle it effectively. Swastino Brihaspatir Dadhatu. And finally, the gurus of the gurus, the guru of the devas, Brihaspati. May he bless us so that, the same thing that even we say in Gayatri Mantra. Bhurbhuvassuvaha tatsaviturvarenyam bhargo devasya dhimahi dhiyo yo nah prachodayat. May all this learning shine through our intellect as wisdom. May we put this knowledge daily into our practice. May Brihaspati bless us with that. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. We always say these three Shantis. And these three Shantis are said in the most hurried manner. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Even to say that Shanti, we don't have Shanti. Why three times? It's called Tapatraya. Three kinds of Tapa. Sharirika Tapa, Manasika Tapa, and the Bauddhika Tapa. Who is the worst enemy for a seeker? Bandhuratmatmanastasya yena atma eva jitaha. You are your best friend. But if you cannot discipline yourself, varted atmaiva shatruvat, you become your own enemy. So these three tapas are the ones which are our stumbling block, and we chant Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May I have peace at the sharirika level, at the physical level. May I have Shanti at the manasika level. May I have Shanti at the intellectual level. These three balanced, that is when I can have spiritual glow and spiritual growth. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thus, having prayed or invoked the blessings, we get straight to the Upanishad. So, repeat the first mantra. I have earlier also mentioned, any part of the Vedas are always referred to as mantra. Any part of the Purana and the Smriti, they are called shloka. Mananat trayate iti mantraha. That by which you constantly meditate upon, consciously contemplate upon, it removes various layers of bondages. Such effective one is called a mantra. Shlokyate anena iti shlokaha. That which is praised by everybody or in the act of praise. So most of the Puranas and the Smriti Granthas are in praise of the Lord. Hence therefore they are called shloka. So these are called the mantra, a technicality. So repeat after me. Om Brahma Devanam Prathamas Sambabhuva Vishwasya Karta Bhuvanasya Gopta Sabrahma Vidyam Sarva Vidya Pratishtham Atharvaya Jeshtaputraya Praha. Om. Om is the auspicious beginning of anything. In the earlier days, in the Vedic days, like in ChinmayaMission, whether you have to, whatever you have to say, whether it is good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, goodbye, we use one word. What do we say? Hari Om. You have seen that person, don't know his name. Hari Om, suno? You get into the Balavihar class and they are hyper. And they say, Hari Om. Meaning what? Keep quiet. For everything we use Hari Om. Similarly, in the olden days, for everything they would say and start, begin, end with the sacred syllable Om. Did you understand? So the students would say Om, meaning understood. Om. So this being a sacred beginning in the first mantra, the way they are starting, so they are starting with the auspiciousness of the syllable Om. Om Brahma Devanam Prathamas Sambabhuva. Brahma ji, the Chaturanana, the firstborn, from Narayana came out Brahma. So he is technically the first one born. So Prathamas Sambhuva. And he is the one who is Vishwasya Karta Bhuvanasya Gupta. Probably that is why the word Gupta also came into picture. Gupta, the one who protects. And what does Gupta protect? Wealth. And the protection becomes critical when there is some amount of Rama, some amount of Krishna. You don't know these terms? I picked it up from Bombay. There, they say Rama means white. Krishna means black. I know, you interpret whatever you have to interpret. Gopya means to hide. Gopana means to protect. So he is the Gopta, Goptru, the one who protects this entire universe. And he is the one who has created this entire universe. Rather, it is a present continuous tense. He is continuously creating this universe and constantly expanding. Vishwasya Karta Bhuvanasya Gopta. Brahma. So what are his adjectives? He is the firstborn. Prathama Sambhuva. Which Brahma? Why? Vishwasya Karta, the one who is called the creator, the one who is called the protector, Bhuvanasya Gopta. So one day, this Brahmaji, in all 4 quarters of his head, he had an amazing match wherein he had absolutely no pressing responsibility calling. The 4 processors were idle. So he immediately called for his son. Of the sons, the oldest one. See, there is a story again, different Puranas. First, Brahmaji created lots of boys. You know, Sanat Kumaras and Narada, they were all created, but they all became Virakta. They said, Dad, you take care of your creation, we can't help you in your creation. We don't want to get into that field. So next he created another set of 10,000 of them. So Narada goes, he says, look at my brothers, older brothers. Don't they look happy? Look at me. Don't I look happy? Why do you want to bargain this happiness and get into the rut of what Dad is asking you to get into? Join us. And all 10,000 of them became sannyasi. Then he created another batch of 10,000. They were also spoiled. In terms of Brahmaji, he said, you know, this Narada is becoming like a havoc. He is taking away all my children and spoiling their purpose and vision. Then he creates 10,000 girls. They also go do tapasya. Narada goes to tell them the same thing. They say, no, Papa ne jo kaha wahi. So it is in the creation itself. That the boys have always not listened to the parents. Girls have been always the obedient ones. Right from the creation, you can see the genetic coding there. Then the next batch of these sons, the oldest one that he had, he called him. Atharva, his name was Atharva. And this is Atharva Shakha. And then he said, son, I am in the mood to explain the greatest truths to you. And he gave him the absolute knowledge to his son Atharva. Sa Brahma Vidyam Sarva Vidya Prathishtham Atharvaya Jyeshtaputraya Praha. He called his son, the oldest one, called Atharva, and unto him he gave Brahma Vidya. Why did he give Brahma Vidya? He said, rest other knowledges are very limited. Knowing this, you know everything. In fact, knowing everything becomes possible only when you know this Brahma Vidya. Hence, therefore, he gave this knowledge to his son, Atharva. And what did Atharva do? The second mantra. Atharvaneyam pravadeta brahmatharva. Yam pravadeta brahmatharva. Tam purova changire brahma vidyam. Sabharadvajaya satyavahaya praha. Bharadvajo angirase paravaram. So the entire knowledge and the lineage of knowledge is being explained. So this knowledge which was taught by Brahmaji, Atharvane yam pravadeta, that which was given to Atharvana, he taught this knowledge to Angirasa. And this Angirasa gave this knowledge to Bharadvajaya Satyavahaya Praha, to somebody who was born in the lineage of Bharadvaja Muni. See, the son of Dasharatha is called Dasharathi. Daughter of Janaka is called Janaki. Similarly, somebody who is either the son of Bharadvaja or born in the lineage of Bharadvaja, whose name was Satyavaha, the one who is bound to truth and truth alone, the one who uses truth alone as his vehicle, as his means to go out and interact with the world outside. Satyavaha, who was born in the Bharadvaja Gotra, this knowledge was given to him. Who gave this knowledge to Satyavaha? Angirasa. Good, just checking. And Satyavaha gave this knowledge to Angirasa. Again, Angirasa's son or somebody in the lineage of Angirasa. Angirasa, he gave this knowledge to him. So if you look at the Vedas, if you look at the Upanishads, if you look at the Puranas, whenever there was a Sishya asking a question to the teacher, there was never ever a teacher who would claim that this is my new technology patented that I have released. He would always cross-refer to another incident where such question was asked by another student to his master or some other master, and he would refer that and say, hence this knowledge that was given to such and such. What does it show? It shows two things. One, knowledge has always been eternal. Nobody can stake a claim on it. Nobody can patent it. Nobody can claim that I have invented a new way of spirituality. Many people ask, how do we know that the new guru that is very authentic? If there is a claim that there is a new method, watch out. It's taking you for a ride. Because all knowledge is eternal, and that eternal knowledge has already been spoken about, has already been tested, has already been proven in the past. And that proven knowledge which was given to such and such Guru Sishya Parampara is what is being shared by this set of Guru to his Sishya. So the entire lineage has been explained. To such Angirasa, see in English Angirasa and Angirasa, the spellings are the same. Angirasa, maybe you have to add an extra A. To such Angirasa, there was this very efficient student. And this student comes across even in the Puranas. And his description even in the Puranas is the same. So such student comes to Angirasa asking a certain question. What is the question? And who is that student? So in the third mantra it is said, Shaunako havai mahashalaha Angirasam vidhivad upasannah prapracha Angirasam upasannah papracha Kasminnu bhagavo vijñāte sarvamidam vijñātam bhavatiti. Shaunakaha havai mahashalaha. Shaunakaha, his disciple's name was Shaunaka. Between all the Puranas, the first few chapters is a dialogue between Suta and Shaunaka. So the same Shaunaka, I believe. And how was he? Mahashalaha. Shala means a compound or a house. How was his house? Mahashalaha. So it is more efficient if you understand it as a compound. Because in that complex there were many things. Mahashala is often used as a term to indicate somebody who has been a great person of merit. Somebody who has accomplished a lot in their life. Somebody who has couple of industries. Somebody who has few tens and thousands of cows, tens and thousands of horses and elephants. Somebody who has, can you imagine tens and thousands of horses and cows and elephants? In order to just feed them, how much land, how much grass, how much fodder should be there? So when you say that they have such a big complex with all these things, it goes needless to say along with it that they owned that much of land and that much of property and that many people working for them. And when people have such kind of affluence, it gets straight into their head. But he is also known as somebody who is Mahashala. Maha there also indicates somebody who is noble-hearted. Not just that there were accomplishments that he had, but he was also noble-hearted. And it is this Shaunaka who often carries out various Satra Yaga. Satra Yaga is often done for a Mandala Praya. Mandala is 41 days. So in those 41 days, whole day there would be, when starting from morning, after they have done their Sandhya Vandana and their Ishtadaiva Puja, they sit and perform yaga. And in the evening, as a, I shouldn't call it, because we don't really have the authority to pass time. The time actually passes us out. So in their free time, after having sat in front of the fire the whole day, late afternoon, they would sit with Suta and learn about different Puranas, different gods and their stories. So he must have gone and heard a lot of such things, and every so often he would hear Vijñāte sarvam vijñātam bhavati iti. That knowing by which everything else is known. See, in the Puranas, most of the times this knowledge is not shared, but it is indicatively suggested that he was given this knowledge by learning which he knew everything. So Shaunaka also had this jignyasa now. And he reached our Angirasa. How did he come? Vidhivat upasannaha papracha. You have to reach in, you have to approach the master to ask such things in an orderly manner. What? And shave the head, okay. So he reached to the footsteps of the master here with complete humility and eagerness to learn. See, Lakshmana, who had been following Ramchandraji throughout the forest, when they reach Chitrakoot, apna Chitrakoot, so he builds a beautiful house for Ramji and Sitaji. So Sitaji comes and says, Lakshmana, you did not build a room for yourself. So he says, we don't have the luxury of servants. If I have a room for myself, who will serve both of you? So I cannot afford a room for myself because my purpose here is to serve. So after dedicating a couple of months there, constantly serving Ramji and Sitaji, one day he finds Ramji sitting very peacefully on a stone and watching Godavari Nadi. And as he was sitting there, Lakshmana approaches and sees that Bhagwan is so at peace, and he does his Shashtanga Namaskar and then sits with him and says, Bhagwan, I have been meaning to ask this question. If I am not disturbing you, may I ask this question? So in Tulsi Ramayana, very beautiful, the description is, Ek bar Prabhu Sukha Asina. He was sitting really in a peaceful charm. And the Sishya approaches with that due respect. So here also our Shaunaka approaches Angirasa, Vidhivat Upasannaha, and then asks the question, it says, Kasmin Bhagavo Vijñāte, knowing what? As I have heard it from different speakers, different places, knowing that what makes me the knower of everything. Can you please elaborate on that? So to such a dedicated Sishya who has duly approached him, probably shaven head, with the twigs in his hands. You see, the twigs and the other things that was brought in was that the Guru or the Gurukula, the way it runs, is that there is always a need for the basic amenities. So he brought maybe he brought everything that he could offer as gifts for the Gurukula, and he duly offered them and deposited them in the various places that they were to be given, and then came, did his namaskar, expecting some chamatkar, asked this question. The Guru was also in a very composed manner. You have to find right time to ask right question. Sometimes I remember this once. Guruji he just finished the lecture, and it was 15 minutes earlier than the usual schedule. He finished the lecture and he went to the backstage and then quickly went to his car, and we were following him. There was one of our Yuva Kendra members. As soon as he got out of the car, he jumped off the bike and ran to Guruji and wanted to ask this question. So he looked at him. Mudhatma. Very lovingly called him Mudhatma. कब क्या पूछना चाहिए सोच के पूछा करो. And he was like, shocked. What is wrong in asking? You are anyway going inside and you have time. I said, my focus is on to get to the bathroom first. I don't have time to answer your question. See, when you ask certain things, when you have to inquire certain things, the person that you are approaching, the person that you are asking should be in a good frame of mind, that your questions or your presence there should not be a binding factor or a burden to that person that you are going to ask. Even before you start asking, seek permission. I have certain questions. Is it a good time? If you don't know, if you can't really say that this is a good time or not, how would I know? Ask. Is it a good time to ask? So the Guru was in a very pleasant state of mind, and the Shishya also was very Uttama Shishya. He assessed the situation right, approached diligently and asked the question with complete humility. And Guru also, without beating around the bush, straight starts answering the question. What does he say? He says, Tasmai sahovacha dve vidye veditavye iti hasmayat brahmavido vadanti parachaiva paracha tasmai sahovacha. Unto such student, Shaunaka, Angirasa spoke thus. What did he say? He said, Dve vidye veditavye. There are two kinds of knowledges. And what are they? They are called Paracha, Aparacha. Para and Apara. Paravidya is called Brahmavidya. Aparavidya is called the Laukika Vidya. The various sciences, various arts, various themes that we learn here in going to the education system in today's world is all put under the classification of Aparavidya. Now the reason I am not using secular is you will see in the next mantra. all the knowledge which does not take us to that center of focus within our heart is called aparavidya. I tell you, this state of frankness you will cherish only in the Upanishads, only in the Hindu scriptures. Why? They have the courage to stand up and say, hey look, all the apara that we are talking about, what does it include? You will be surprised what they have included. And that's why I said it's not just about secular knowledge. So in the next mantra they say, Angirasa describes as to what is aparavidya. He says, Tatra parargvedo yajurvedaha Samavedo tharvaveda siksha Kalpo vyakaranam Niruktam chando Jyotishamiti Athapara Yaya tadaksharam Adhigamyate. Apara, tatra, in defining that apara, vidya, they say, Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvaveda, Siksha, Kalpa, Vyakarana, Nirukta, Chanda, Jyotishya. All that can be put in words, all that can be worded is classified under aparavidya. And what is paravidya? Yaya aksharam adhigamyate. I think Angirasa had a style of speaking to himself, because his words often have pun intended. See, all the Vedas are akshara prota. Akshara prota, they are words. What is paravidya? Aksharam adhigamyate, that which transcends words. One meaning of it. The other meaning of it is that which takes you directly to that akshara tattva. What is kshara? That which perishes. What is akshara? That which does not perish. Kshara also means that which can be broken. Akshara, that which cannot be broken. See, all our syllables from a to ksha. Kavarga, chavarga, tavarga, tavarga, pavarga. All the 52 to 56 syllables that in various languages that we have, they are all called akshara mala. Do you know why they are called akshara mala? One meaning is, yes, they are syllables. Hence, therefore, it is called akshara. Why is that syllable called akshara in Sanskrit? Because it cannot be further broken down into a smaller particle. Hence, therefore, it is called akshara. If you go into Sanskrit vocabulary and learn the siksha, the initial phase of learning the akshara mala, we are told there are vowels. A to aha, there are vowels. And then there are consonants. Each consonant is again with halanta. Unlike in Hindi, Telugu, Tamil or whichever other language, they don't have halanta. Sanskrit alone has halanta. Halanta, there is a little tail underneath every syllable. Meaning, it becomes complete only when a consonant is mixed with a vowel. But otherwise, it is in its unbreakable format. You cannot further break it down. There cannot be sandhi vichcheda done anymore. Hence, therefore, it is called akshara. Aksharam adhigamyate. All these words have to be transcended. But you say that this Upanishad is also in the Veda. So you mean to say that we are going through aparavidya? Yes and no. This is the classic answer of Adi Shankaracharya. There is in Shankaracharya's Bhashya, there is Purva Pakshi. Purva Pakshi is somebody who, his style of working is, there is always an objection put forth by those who are listening. If you say, if the Upanishad itself says that Rig Veda, all the 4 Vedas and the Vedangas and the Upavedas and all these are called Aparavidya, then Upanishad is also a part of it. Said yes. If you look at the words alone, then it is Aparavidya. But if you look at that which is indicated through the words, meaning in what we say in English, reading in between the lines. First we have to learn how to read the lines, then understand how to read in between the lines. That which is the lakshartha of the entire Upanishads, that is Paravidya. That which is the Vachyartha, the words and the word meanings. See, now what is happening is pure Aparavidya. Why? The knowledge is being received as words and stored as data. And we have segments inside. Ishavasyopanishad says so and so, Kathopanishad said so and so, then Mundakopanishad is saying so and so. It's a data. Now when that data is contemplated upon and the best of that knowledge is churned out, and that when put in application, what is retained is called wisdom. That experiential knowledge which is gained through the contemplation which is done after the Shravana, that which is indicated, the Lakshartha, is called Paravidya. Until we reach there, we are carrying the burden of Aparavidya. See, put it in, take out the Vedas and the Upanishads and the scripture, put it aside to understand it in a simple term language. What is Aparavidya and Paravidya? And when I go to somebody's house and the lady of the house, that Amma, says, Swamiji, this is a fresh out of the recipe book, made only for you. 2-3 things are very visible. 1, easy guinea pig. First time made. What do you call that? 2nd, high vulnerability. For any kind of result that can happen with that. And 3rd, those who trust the recipe book are still amateurs. Because those who are expert, they don't require a recipe or a recipe book. You don't need to sit there and say whether it is, when they say 1 tablespoon, whether is it the heap of it or the, you don't even need a spoon. You put your hand into it, pick it up, and then as an art it comes out. Until it becomes that art form, it is apara cooking. Once you become an expert at it, then it is called para cooking. See, whenever food example is given, everybody has a spark of understanding. So you have understood the difference between Paravidya and Aparavidya. Continuing further, we will read the shloka today and see the meaning tomorrow. Yattadadreshyam agrahyam Yattad adreshyam agrahyam agotram avranam avarnam achakshusha shrotram tadapani padam nityam vibhum sarvagatam susukshmam tadavyayam yadbhutayonim paripashyanti dhiraha yat tad adreshyam adrishyam. Adreshyam is the chandasam. Chandasam, there is a different grammar that goes with the Vedic scriptures. What we have today as the Paninian grammar, it works with the Paninian Sanskrit. It cannot work on the Vedic literature. So that Vedic literature is called Chandasam. So Adreshyam, the nearest vocabulary that we have in the new Sanskrit is called Adrishyam. That which is invisible. Agrahyam, that which cannot be held, that which cannot be grasped. Agotram, that which does not have an origin. Avarnam, avarnam, varna is to have different kinds of qualities which qualify it. Attributes, that which is attributeless. When I am reading this, I remember I had been to somebody's house. And when we go to, they want to give you something, at least feed you something. So this Amma said, at least chai to pee ke jao. ठीक है, chai. And she got that chai, and it was different. So I didn't comment. That is my end of sadhana. That whatever comes my way, I eat it. I don't comment on it. But that Amma was like on a gunpoint, point blank. Kaisa hai? Kaisa hai? Kaisa hai? Now I am at a loss. बहुत अच्छा है नहीं कह सकता क्योंकि बहुत अच्छा नहीं है. Yeah, I didn't know this word interesting then. So I thought for a while. And I said, Amma, I remember the Upanishad statement by drinking your chai. Really, Swamiji? I said, Yat tadadreshyam agrahyam agotram avarnam. So what does it mean, Swamiji? I said, your chai is like Nirguna Nirakara Parabrahma Paramatma. She was happy, I was also happy. Because it did not have the tea leaf taste or smell. It did not have milk taste or milk smell. It did not have sugar, the taste, enough taste. I don't know, it was, as Gurudev puts it, it is water boiled, spoiled to be called as chai. So when it says avarnam, attributeless, that which cannot be described. So it's a very interesting way to look at it. The sixth mantra is the most contemplative mantra. And many seekers are initiated into contemplation through this mantra. So that we will see tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.